Thanks, Todd. I do remember that, too, and it was the shovel play that we were down in the basement, and Todd had a lot of great questions, so great to see Todd. Great to be here today, here with three great guys, Marvin Harrison Jr., Cade Stover, and JT Tuamolau. I thought it was great, as we came over here this morning, just sort of a cross-section of our team. You take a guy who's from Philadelphia, went to the prep in Philly, dad's, hanging in the rafters here, tremendous wide receiver. Then you have Cade Stover, who's grew up in Lexington, Ohio, family owns a farm, playing tight end, at a high level. And then JT from Seattle, Polynesian background, who, is here playing defense. So it's similar to our whole team this year, which we're excited about getting going here. I know everybody is this time of year, but we've had a great off season. We have great leadership, and just fun to be around a great team who enjoys being around each other, but is also just very diverse in so many different ways, but has the same mindset every day, going to work. So looking forward to this season and open to whatever questions you guys have.
Okay, we'll open over here to our left.
Tim May, Letterman Row. Ryan, I was just wondering, who is going to be your backup quarterback going into camp? I'm asking that the backhanded way, obviously.
That's good.
But have you seen anything the last couple of months that have given you any kind of definition there?
I figured you'd try it that way because the other ways haven't worked for you yet to know the starter. Well, I thought I'll start with Lincoln. Lincoln is stepped in and been very surprised with just his approach. Been really impressed with how it doesn't seem too big for Lincoln. He's very athletic. He's learning. He's got a long way to go. He came in the summer, but excited to have him here. Tristan has done a great job as being a coach, being a guy who wants to be a coach, but he's taken those guys under his wing, understands the offense now at a high level, and so he's going to help provide depth for us. And that's important because this is the most depth we've had, as you know, Tim, in a long time at the quarterback position, which will allow us to do some things maybe we haven't done in the past. And then you have Devin and Kyle, and they both had very good summers. They both have shown leadership, and Mick has really put him in situations to do that. Now it's going to be time to go put it on the field. And, we obviously would like for someone to emerge here quickly, but, we'll kind of have to see once we get on the field.
We'll stay over here to our left.
Hi, Ryan. Dave Biddle from 24/7 Sports over here to your left.
Hi, Dave.
How do you feel about your offensive line entering camp? Is it your biggest concern? And just how do you feel about that group, Ryan?
I think the two areas, just in terms of guys going into a conference game on the road, we did that a couple years ago against Minnesota. Last year, we're playing Notre Dame at home, and this year it's Indiana on the road. Your concern is guys who haven't played, guys that don't have the experience, and the two guards have played, and the two tackles in the center haven't. Now, I'm excited about some of our options there. Josh Fryer is really, looks good. He cut weight. He's doing better. Tegra. We also added Josh Simmons, who prefers to be called Jimmy, by the way, so we're going to have to call him Jimmy Simmons. Luke Montgomery is been in the mix. He shot a really good summer. And so, we have Vic Cutler we've added. So we have some good pieces there, but they just haven't played. And so that's where this offseason has been important. But now in August, it's going to be critical for them to build the chemistry and to make sure that they solidify themselves as starters. I think, we have enough people there that we feel good we can find that, but they have to go do it. So that's obviously something that we got to make sure we're focused on. And then obviously the quarterback position. Those are probably the two biggest areas where we got to make sure we're doing a great job.
All right, Coach, we're going to go to our right.
Coach over here, Bill Bender, Sporting News. With Brian Hartline moving in at offensive coordinator, what does that mean for you this season in terms of play calling, where you spend your time in meetings during the week, and what is your collaborative vision of the offense now?
Yeah, nothing's really changed from the spring. We'll kind of see how the preseason goes and see how it all shakes out and the chemistry. It has allowed me an opportunity to bounce around a little bit more, also with naming Quinn Temple, our chief of staff. He's kind of taken some things off of my plate. He's done a really good job there. So the way that our staff's designed, I think we have a great staff, and it has allowed me to jump around a little bit more. Once we get into the teeth of the season, I just, I know how it's going to go probably for me. I'm going to end up being right involved with it again. But that being said, as the season wears on, I have to be conscious this year of not getting too locked into the offense and making sure that I have, a handle on everything that's going on. And I think, certainly Brian running the offense and being a part of that, and Justin Fry with the O-line, some of the other additions we've had to the staff will allow us to do that.
Coach, we're going to go here to our left.
Hey, Ryan, Patrick Murphy from 24/7 Sports and Bucknuts. A lot of the talk this offseason outside the program, I know, has been about the way the season ended. I'm curious just how much that conversation takes place internally about those final 2 games of last year.
Yeah. I think it started off with, the way the regular season ended, and then that whole bowl prep leading up to it. There was just, a lot of focus, a lot of, conversation about making sure that, we finished the season the right way, and we came up, a couple plays short, and that was not easy to do. And so as you replay, a few plays here, a few plays there, really in both of those games, it's motivating. And so what we did this offseason, I think you heard me talk about it, is everything we did in the offseason was about competing. Because, when you're in matchup games, it comes down to a handful of plays. There are times during the season where that's not the case. We can, maybe lose a few plays and still win by a few touchdowns, and it's like sometimes that can get unnoticed. And not that it does get unnoticed, it's just something that maybe you just don't feel the severity of it until you lose a game like that. And so, we've been working hard this offseason to make sure that doesn't happen again. That, in every game, no matter who we're playing, we understand that it can come down to a couple plays, and certainly in matchup games, we've got to win those games. And explosive plays certainly is what really was our Achilles heel going down in those last 2 games. And now we know that, we've talked about it. How much do we talk about the rivalry game and winning at the end of the season? We talk about it every day. We do. Now we're not going to sit there and let it beat us twice, but it is a motivating factor for sure.
All right, we're going to go to our back right.
Ryan, Mark Rogers with the Voice of College Football. And you're working with Jim Knowles and having conversations with him in efforts of improving the defensive play this year. Is it more about increasing technique from the players to fit what Jim Knowles likes to do, or basically taking his scheme and trying to tweak it to fit what the players and their skill sets?
Yeah, it's a great question, because it's something that comes up all the time on both sides of the ball this time of year. Is you have a general idea of what your offense and what your defense is, but ultimately you have to tailor it to what your guys can do. And that's something that, coming off of last season, number one thing we know, explosive plays. There was a lot of improvement made, but those are the things that hurt us. So how do we get that fixed? And that's obviously been something that we've really focused on. But also, how do we now take a group of guys that have been in the system now for a year and take the next step and put the right people in the right spots? And that's really what it comes down to, and not just something that maybe has worked in the past couple of years doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work moving forward. Or maybe it's something that, use up as a changeup that you used to use as your fastball. And that's all the art of especially college coaching. And that's all the conversation that's being had right now, is putting the right guys in the right place to be successful and then get really good at it. I think we did that in the spring, and hopefully we can build on that here in August.
All right, we're going to go to our left.
Davis, Delaware Gazette. Ryan, is there any way you would consider possibly starting or playing both quarterbacks early on in the season in games? I know that's difficult with Indiana as the opener in a Big Ten game, but would you consider that at all?
Yeah.
Or what would it take for that to happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We in, I guess, the last, now going on 7 years, we've been in this situation quite a few times at Ohio State, and just, not knowing who the quarterback's going to be going into the season. You had a new one with Dwayne, then you had a new one with Justin, then you had a new one with CJ, and here we are again. So when you go into these situations, you'd like for someone to emerge during camp, but who knows if that's going to happen or not. You'd like to see somebody emerge, and then you name them just like we've done with CJ and Justin and Dwayne. But, if that doesn't happen, then maybe that is the case. We'll have to evaluate it from there. But, we'll see. I know that, we got to go in and win that first game on the road, so we're going to do everything we can. and do what's right for Ohio State. So, again, I'm excited to see these guys compete and go put it on the field. It's so much different when you're just throwing routes on air, you're going through workouts, than when you're actually playing football. And we got to go start playing football here and figuring out who the quarterback's going to be.
All right, and our final question will be down here in front.
Braden Moles, Buckeye Sports Bulletin. Ryan, with the promotion for Brian Hartline and Keenan Bailey this offseason, what have you seen from them in the months since their promotion that make you confident in their ability to step up and take on these new responsibilities?
Yeah, first off, they're both very bright. They both very energetic. They recruit at a high level. They connect with players very well, and they have credibility. Keenan has been with us really since I've been at Ohio State. And, he's been in different rooms. He's learned. He's taken on a lot of roles. He's got a lot of respect from so many people in that building because of his work ethic, because of the relationships he has with his players. And it's not just the tight ends. I mean, you go in there for a workout at 6 a.m, he's right there with his players. You go out there for a team run at 4 o'clock, he's there running with them. And players like that, how do you create relationships and connection with players? You spend time with them, and he does that. And he's also very, very intelligent. And then Brian, same type of thing. His credibility that he has because he played the position of wide receiver, because he went on to play the position in the NFL, and he's brought guys along and developed guys in that room. And the next, logical progression for him is being a coordinator, which, up until this point, he's tackled everything and really succeeded. So we expect him to do the same thing.
All right, thank you, Coach.